Well, for another dimension on this whole development here, we're joined by Jeremy Saltan, the Yamina Party Director for English Operations, political strategist. Jeremy, thanks for being with us today. Now, looking internally a bit at how this announcement, how this normalization with the UAE came into be, where does this achievement leave Netanyahu politically?
Well, of course, we must say diplomatically, this is, of course, a very big accomplishment for Netanyahu. But politically, it's a completely different story. I don't think this has really gained him even one vote, to be honest. I mean, this government was formed to do two things: to combat the coronavirus and to apply Israeli sovereignty. And what we now see is that this government has combated sovereignty and has applied the coronavirus. So deciding to go ahead and give up when it comes to really what most Israelis, at least on the right, feel is more important, I would say, in terms of applying sovereignty to the areas that are right here in Judea and Samaria. Netanyahu has chosen a diplomatic victory, which is way over on the other side of the Middle East by the Gulf, in terms of a diplomatic agreement.
Well, it's been a popular phrase thrown around the region here for many years, saying never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity to achieve peace. You don't believe this is in the purview of this current government to forge diplomatic arrangements, peace agreements with Gulf states? It's outside of what they were elected to do.
No, so I think, again, and I started by saying this is a diplomatic achievement for the prime minister, and one needs to give him credit for doing so. Your question, though, was related to the Israelis on the right doing this. I mean, if we look historically, it's the Israeli right who have said that it's more important to look at what's happening in our own backyard as opposed to making agreements on a piece of paper. And of course, let's be honest about this issue that UAE is not exactly at war with Israel. There's not been one Israeli life lost because of the fact that there's no diplomatic relations until now.
Well, look, you talk about an agreement on paper, Jeremy. This is wide-ranging. They're talking about investment, security ties, COVID ties as well, research cooperation. This goes beyond paper right now. They're opening up tourism to Israelis and direct flights. You're talking about the issue of annexation and sovereignty here, which has obviously got the right worked up right now in Israel. Annexation didn't appear to be moving anywhere as it was. This was still too high of a price for Netanyahu to pay?
Well, again, I think in terms of the piece of paper, look, we had the joint agreement that we said that we saw the statement that went out from the U.S., the UAE, and Israel. We also had public statements that said three different things afterwards. We don't yet have this piece of paper that we know. Yes, we've had a lot of talks, and we're also hearing a lot of versions. We'll see what the final thing is. In terms of sovereignty, I agree with you, it wasn't going anywhere. Look, I've been here on the channel from the formation of the government saying the minute Netanyahu decided to bring Benny Gantz into the government, he had no intention to move forward with the sovereignty. So, you know, this is just something in his eyes that is not really something that he cares too much about paying. The problem is, and this is, again, a political problem, he went to 3 elections this year promising the Israeli right that he's going to go ahead and do this. And my expectation is Likud is going to continue to fall in the polls because Israelis don't really like it when you promise them something and give them something else. This saying that whatever you see from here is different from over there, that doesn't work when you're a prime minister who's been in office for over a decade. So I think there will be a lot of fallout from this politically. But once again, diplomatically, it's an achievement.
Jeremy Saltan, thanks for being with us here from the Yamina Party here. Obviously, the issues